right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Another challenging commute awaits when the snow starts, what it means for the morning commute, and why it's so much different than Sunday's wintry mix.
Winter weather creating snow and ice missiles on the highway.
It hit us with such a trauma force.
The warning tonight for drivers about the frozen danger feet above the pavement. Plus, a St. Louis native shares how his California dreamin' has turned into a nightmare.
It feels like a lifetime since yesterday. This all happened yesterday.
We start tonight with a weather impact alert. Here comes the snow again, and it's likely going to add to the mess on the roads. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush. Kelly Jackson has the night off. Right now, we're under a winter weather advisory as the snow moves in overnight. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is tracking the timing, snow totals, and the impact.
Well, once again, Mike, the roads are going to get slick tomorrow morning. Temperatures remain below freezing. In fact, today's high only at 100. Our weather impact alert, did I say 100? Only at 32. More than 100 schools have called off. All right, so now through 6 o'clock tomorrow, we have our weather impact alert up to 6 inches of snow over southeast Missouri, southern Illinois. That's not for St. Louis. St. Louis is more like 2 to 3 inches with locally 4 inches possible. You will need extra time though tomorrow, and we are not alone. Look how extensive the area under winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories is. Not only does that include the bi-state region, but points south all the way to Texas and Atlanta. Here's that system. Tonight, already spreading snow in towards Columbia. That'll reach St. Louis here as we head into the hours after midnight. That sets us up for a morning with snow on the roads during the commute tomorrow in St. Louis. Right now, you see the snow on the radar screen from Bowling Green back to Herman to Columbia. It takes a while for the initial snow that we see on the radar to actually reach the ground because the air is so dry. But the air temperatures haven't dropped off all that much. We're still in the mid to upper 20s around St. Louis. Jefferson still 32 degrees right now. Over in Florida, Effingham, it's in the upper teens. Tomorrow morning, snow will be falling in St. Louis. We're in the upper 20s. Wind chills will be in the mid 20s. Probably looking at about 2 or 3 inches by about 11 o'clock or noon tomorrow when this starts winding down. We'll track it out, time it out further for you, and look into the weekend in a minute, Mike.
All right, Scott, and as you mentioned, and as you'll be able to see at the bottom of your screen, more than 100 schools have already called off for tomorrow or have switched to remote learning, and there will likely be more. You can text the word closings to 314-425-5355, and we'll send you the most up-to-date list straight to your phone. Slick roads could be to blame in West County. Right now, troopers are on the scene of a jackknife semi-tractor trailer on southbound 270, just south of the J.J. Kelly overpass. We're told no one was hurt, but the crash is blocking several lanes of traffic. And in Maryland Heights, troopers on the scene of a crash involving a car and a semi on 364 near Bennington Place. We're told at least one person was thrown from a vehicle. No word, though, on the extent of any injuries. This latest round of snow comes as MoDOT crews are still working to clear trouble spots from Sunday's storm. We're told plow drivers will stay on 12-hour day and night shifts through the next round of weather. They'll hit the interstates and busy highways first. And tonight, IDOT has crews on standby. They'll hit the roads once the snow starts to fall. Officials say they have plenty of salt and staff to clear the roads. Dozens of cars and trucks across the bi-state have been damaged by chunks of flying snow and ice. Overpasses and bridges are the likely culprit, and so are other cars. Laura Barczewski is live in the Weather Impact Storm Tracker tonight with a plea from an affected driver. Laura.
Mike, so on top of these road conditions, we now have to worry about flying chunks of snow and ice. I'm going to turn it around. We're on I-64 right now. Everything's been smooth sailing so far, but earlier while traveling for this story, we saw it happen several times. Luckily, we didn't see anyone get hit earlier, but I talked with a woman who wasn't so lucky.
It was an average Wednesday afternoon for Lisa Anderson. She was driving down I-64 from Illinois toward Missouri with a friend when snow and ice from the roof of another car came flying straight into her windshield.
It hit us with such a trauma force that it caused the entire windshield to shatter. It knocked off the rear view mirror and put shards of glass all over me.
Lisa says she saw it coming, but there wasn't much else she could do.
You don't deviate. you slow down, maintain, and go right through it. And luckily that's what I did, because it was a high traffic environment. And had I tried to swerve, I could have hit the semi that just passed me.
Then she pulled over as best as she could, called 911, and minutes later, help arrived. Law enforcement agencies across the bi-state are putting out warnings to try and prevent this.
Then all it takes is for a couple cracks to get into that, and the wind coming at your vehicle while you're driving to get underneath there, and it just peels that layer of ice or snow off and lets it fly up in the air. You know, we've seen some fly up 15, 20 feet up in the air before it starts coming back down.
Clearing off your car might be complicated, especially when it's iced over like this, but the Highway Patrol says if you can clear it off as best as you can, start driving, your car will warm up, you might be able to get the rest of it off to save someone's life.
You know, if a piece of that ice comes off and strikes another vehicle behind you, you can be held liable for that if you damage their vehicle. If they crash or seriously injured, and we can prove that it came from your vehicle, you could be held liable.
Lisa says she's lucky to walk away with just a few scratches and has a message for drivers.
It's just that time of year, and it comes every year, so come on, people. You know, take that extra minute and clear it off.
The Highway Patrol says giving other cars space is very important right now, not only because there's ice and snow on the roads, but for those chunks flying off the vehicles as well. Reporting live in the Storm Tracker, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
And you can stay up to date on this weather impact alert, get the latest forecast, road conditions, and closings on air and anytime on KSDK.com and the 5+ streaming app. The new year is off to a violent start in the city of St. Louis. New at 10, our Robert Townsend has learned detectives are investigating a handful of homicides, including a report of a man possibly shot to death and thrown from a car.
Thursday afternoon was a peaceful one outside Williams Temple Church of God in Christ near Union and Dr. Martin Luther King Drive in North St. Louis. But the night before, neighbors saw flashing police lights, crime scene tape, and detectives canvassing this corner looking for clues in a deadly shooting.
That saddens us because there are better ways to solve conflicts.
Police say around 5:30 Wednesday evening, a man in his 60s was shot in his head and killed here. The victim was reportedly thrown from a car near those eyeglasses police found in the street. Right now, police are still trying to confirm that.
That's why we have a community outreach there.
Bishop Lawrence Wooten is the pastor of Williams Temple. The church has been in this neighborhood for nearly 70 years.
But we have to learn how to be disagreeable, but not disagree to the point of violence.
About 4 hours later, more gun violence just 9 days into the new year. Police say another man was shot in his head and killed outside this McDonald's on North Tucker in the Carr Square neighborhood. It happened just blocks away from downtown. Thursday, the McDonald's back open for business.
That's pretty crazy, to be honest, because we just started the year off.
Police say last year they responded to 126 calls for service at the McDonald's, including 57 disturbances, 4 fights, 3 shots fired, and 2 assaults. So far this year, police tell us there have been 4 homicides in the city of St. Louis. No matter what the number is, citizens and community leaders just wish the violence would stop. That as they think about the loved ones of the latest victims.
I feel bad for the families.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Police have not released the names of the 2 men who were killed. Anyone with information on either case is urged to call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS, and you can remain anonymous. The death and devastation is spreading tonight in Southern California, where multiple wildfires have killed at least 7 people and burned around 10,000 homes and buildings. Nearly 200,000 people have been forced from their homes. Tonight, a new wildfire in LA's West Hills neighborhood has prompted more evacuation warnings. Tonight, a local effort to help a St. Louis native who lost everything in the California wildfires. The Gateway High graduate, his wife and son are now trying to figure out their next steps as they rebuild their lives. 5 on your side's Brent Solomon just spoke with the victim and his family. Brent?
Well, Mike, when Brian Perry saw how quickly the fire was spreading, he evacuated his family. The very next day, their worst fear confirmed. Their home, memories, and mementos all swept away in an instant.
The furious flames are dramatic enough, but when they actually consume your home, it can be hard to process.
it feels like a lifetime since yesterday. This all happened yesterday.
Brian Perry is a school principal in the Los Angeles area. The Mizzou grad from St. Louis moved out west nearly 2 decades ago.
Just kind of devastating to kind of think about like how much a life takes to build in a home and then just have it kind of taken away in a few hours.
Wednesday, he evacuated from his Altadena, California home, along with his wife and 13-year-old son. The very next day, the devastating reality.
This is where the home was.
I guess these were all homes too nearby.
Yes.
All gone.
Mm-hmm. You're trying to grab important things, but you couldn't possibly grab everything. Sentimental things. Absolutely. She had a plant from when her grandmother died, and of course she lost that, her wedding dress.
Latondra Landrum lives in St. Louis. Perry is her cousin. They grew up together in the same home.
When your family hurts, you hurt.
We were there as she FaceTimed the man who is like a brother.
Hi, Brian.
How you doing?
As the California family rents out Airbnbs, loved ones back home are organizing an online fundraiser to help during their darkest hour.
How things have gone in the past few years with the wildfires, most insurance companies drop fire insurance. Our insurance company, company dropped us in February of last year. And so rebuilding from scratch pretty much. And so, yeah, any help is good.
Perry tells me his son has been reaching out to his friends, and they're all in the same boat, no homes. Although it's a long road ahead, they're focused on bouncing back. A link to that online fundraiser is on KSDK.com right now. Just look in the As Seen on TV section.
Caught on camera, a restaurant's trash becoming a treasure for thieves. Their hopes of turning grease into gold. Digging out of the snow to keep risks from piling up.
It really comes down to a common sense calculation.
Tonight, the I-Team finds the laws on shoveling your sidewalk depends on where the snow falls.
The weather impact alert continues into Friday as this dry, fluffy snow freshens up the dirty snow piles in the parking lot. Why there's improvement this weekend, even though we get more snow early tomorrow.
Caught on camera, thieves using a tanker truck to steal used cooking oil stored in a container outside a Central West End restaurant. A security expert tells 5 on Your Side thieves have targeted 20 area businesses. That old grease is a hot commodity. It can now be converted into biofuel and sold for the price of diesel. More snow will pile up overnight, adding to the inches of snow already blanketing the St. Louis area. Driveways and sidewalks have become slip hazards. Many are left wondering who's responsible for clearing them. Tonight, the I-Team's Paula Bassan is digging into the rules, risks, and responsibilities of snow removal.
For many, St. Louis has transformed into a winter wonderland.
It's awesome. We've had a great time.
For Lisa Dickman, a mother of 4, the winter fun also comes with responsibility.
Well, I'm trying to shovel the snow while the sun is out and things are melting a little bit because of the ice underneath. My teenagers even did the neighbor's sidewalk better than they did mine.
But as some residents lend a hand, others leave snow untouched and the risks are piling up.
We've seen a lot of questions online. Is it better to shovel or leave the snow alone? Some think not shoveling means less liability if someone falls, while others worry shoveling could create hazards. So we looked into it.
We found that in Missouri, there is no state law requiring homeowners to clear their sidewalks. Local ordinances, however, may encourage snow removal and protect homeowners from liability, as long as they act reasonably. In Illinois, the law explicitly encourages clearing snow and ice, shielding homeowners from lawsuits unless they act recklessly.
It really comes down to a common sense calculation.
St. Louis attorney Erica Slater advises homeowners to prioritize public safety by clearing sidewalks rather than avoiding it out of fear of liability. She adds that businesses face stricter standards due to their responsibility to keep premises safe for customers.
Do you think the law needs to change?
No, the way Missouri handles this issue is sufficient. Homeowners need to know that the law is written to make sure that we're incentivizing people to look out for the safety of not only their own residents in their home, but also the safety of the community.
The I-Team found that local ordinances vary widely. In Kirkwood, sidewalks must be cleared within 24 hours. Clayton requires immediate snow removal, while Ferguson allows for a reasonable time. But in unincorporated St. Louis County, no rules at all. Experts recommend checking local ordinances and reviewing your insurance policy.
You need to check the terms of your policy. What's covered? How much is covered? Is it enough?
While rules and coverage differ, one message is clear. Using common sense and doing your best goes a long way.
We definitely want to do our best to be good neighbors, and sometimes that means cleaning up when there is snow.
A City of St. Louis spokesperson tells us they appreciate residents who help keep sidewalks clear, but understand it's not always easy. Officials add they're focused on keeping residents safe and warm, not enforcing sidewalk shoveling. For a breakdown of local snow removal rules, visit KSDK.com and check the As Seen on TV section. For the I-Team, Paula Vasan, 5 on your side.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell rejoins us now with the weather impact forecast, and he's got more on the timing of this next round of snow.
Yeah, it's starting to pick up now out in mid-Missouri. Columbia reporting some larger snowflakes at this hour. They're not in the metro area yet, but they are on the way. And the difference with this batch of snow that we see as we head into tomorrow morning compared with Sunday, what you see on the ground right now out there in Chesterfield, that's a lot of heavy, wet snow and ice. I mean, we had over or close to 2 inches of liquid with the system on Sunday. This system, we're talking about maybe 0.2 of an inch of liquid. That could still be enough for 2 to 4 inches of snow in the metro area. A little more than that down to the south and southeast of St. Louis. But this is a very dry, fluffy snow. It'll be easy to sweep away or use the blower to blow it off. Extra time, though, tomorrow while it's coming down for your morning rush hour. That snow falling across Oklahoma into Arkansas, western Missouri right now. It is trudging into places where they normally don't see winter weather. Northern portions of Mississippi, far northern portions of Louisiana, North Texas, looking at that wintry mix at this point. It's all sliding in our general direction, but again, the heaviest totals, highest amounts will be well south of St. Louis. Temperature right now still 30 degrees. Columbia with the snow at 29. Nixa reporting about 3/4 of an inch on the ground down in southwest Missouri. Here's our weather impact Doppler radar. Quiet around St. Louis, starting to see the snow on radar up towards Bowling Green, back out west of Warrenton. But again, we have to moisten the atmosphere. So it'll take another hour and a half or so before we start seeing those flakes out to the west. But they'll make it in, and we'll see all of this pushing towards St. Louis as we head into the hours after midnight. So that sets us up for tomorrow morning's rush hour. Snow falling around St. Louis. Temperatures in the mid to upper 20s, which chemicals work great at. And we will be looking at the accumulating snow sticking around through the morning commute. Again, not huge amounts, but another inch or 2 or 3 by the time we get into early tomorrow afternoon. And then everything slides off to the east during the afternoon and evening hours, and we'll start to see some clearing. Highest snowfall amounts, again, over our southeastern counties, stretching from Florida, Mount Vernon, Nashville, Sparta, Farmington, Bonne Terre, down to Centerville, Annapolis, Fredericktown. You're looking at upwards of 5 to 6 inches in a worst case scenario. Metro area, more like 2 to 3, maybe 4. Temperatures are close to freezing tomorrow afternoon. And again, the biggest impacts here with our winter weather alert are doing tomorrow morning's rush hour. The good news that we have is we head into the weekend. It's not really cold air behind this system. It's seasonably cold, but 35 on Saturday, 38 for the high on Sunday. Those numbers we can tolerate, and we'll be able to do some melting with those numbers and a bit of sunshine as well. So hopefully this weekend, the roads that have been problematic will see quite the improvement, despite the fact that we see additional snow tomorrow. And a lot is contingent on how the road crews are able to handle tomorrow morning's snow around the St. Louis metro area. Early next week, it's cold. Temperatures are in the upper 20s, but not bitterly cold. not like we saw this morning. It was near 0 this morning in some of the outlying areas, 9 officially in St. Louis.
And the concern is there's still a lot of streets with a lot of snow packed on them.
Yeah, and it's not going anywhere. That's that heavy, thick stuff.
All right, Scott, thanks. Corey is here with sports.
Well, Jim Montgomery called his shot in a huge performance tonight for the Blues. We actually have some Cardinals news to discuss. And St. Louis kids put on a show in the biggest college football game of the year. Stick around, sports is up next.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Onder Law Injury Attorneys.
All right, I hope everybody has cabin fever from being snowed in here for 3 or 4 days with the ice storm, and the Blues are going to be ready to rock tonight. My ask for our fans tonight is be ready to rock from the puck drop.
Well, that was Jim Montgomery at morning skate today. Call it confidence, call it a premonition, call it good coaching. But whatever it was, Monty was right. The Blues were ready to rock tonight at Enterprise Center. Newest Blue Cam Fowler honored for his 1,000th game tonight, a milestone he reached in the Winter Classic. 991 of those games came with Anaheim, tonight's opponent. The Blues were shot out of a cannon. Robert Thomas, 1-0. 2 minutes later, Tyler Tucker, 2-0 Blues. 2 minutes after that, Jordan Kyrou's going to score, and it's 3-0 Blues before the Ducks even registered a shot on net. They weren't done, though. Dylan Holloway rips one. It's 4-0 Blues in the first. We just had more of the same the rest of the way. Thomas scores his second of the game on the break. Talman checking for a torn rotator cuff. And Pavel Buchnevich powers his way to make it 6-1 in the second. Blues go on to win 6-2 on home ice in front of a rocking Enterprise Center crowd.
The fans brought it. I thought they were here early. I still think they have, and I've seen it, more levels in them. So that's excitement, but it's up to us. Put some wins together to get them to get more and more and more boisterous for us.
We'd love to bring you more Cardinals updates this offseason. There's just been one problem. There haven't been any. Today we did get a bit of news from Busch Stadium. It was contract day for a couple of Cardinals. Closer Ryan Helsley capitalized on his Cardinals record 49 save season with a new contract for 2025 worth $8.2 million per MLB.com's John Denton. That's a raise of over $4 million. The Cardinals also struck deals with relievers JoJo Romero and John King, but did not reach contracts with Brendan Donovan, Lars Nootbaar, or Andre Palante. That trio will go to arbitration. The club also added a player today. Lefty pitcher Bailey Horn is now a Cardinal. He was on waivers from the Tigers and appeared in 18 games for the Red Sox last season. Horn had an ERA of 6.50 in those Boston appearances. The 26-year-old was originally drafted by the White Sox in 2020. Sure is a fun time for college hoops in the region. That includes the Metro East. SIUE is off to a 10-6 start to their season and has won their last 3 games in the OVC. Once again, leading the Cougars is Collinsville native Rayshawn Taylor. The senior has the second highest scoring total in the conference, was just named OVC Player of the Week, and recently became SIUE's all-time Division I scoring leader. In this era of college sports, Taylor's loyalty to one program is rare, and it does not go unappreciated.
We were in the office yesterday for about 45 minutes, an hour, and he walked out and I looked at the staff. I'm like, that right there we have to appreciate. We have a guy like that wants to be around the office, wants to build, finish what he built the right way. I'm comfortable saying it. It's an honor to coach a guy like him.
It's just engraved in me from when I was younger. That's something that I grew up with. My mom always instilled that in me, so I've always been a loyal person my whole life, so as it's on the basketball court, it's no surprise.
College football semifinals, Notre Dame and Penn State in the Orange Bowl, and Missouri kids showed up. Irish battling from behind. Hannibal's Aeneas Williams makes the biggest catch of the game to that point. Notre Dame ties it at 10. Then there was this. CBC alum Jeremiah Love will not be denied. Almost gets tackled about 5 times, but refuses to go down and gets in the end zone. And then a DeSmet kid had the biggest play of the game. Christian Gray, interception in the waning moments. That set up a game-winning Irish field goal attempt, and they convert. St. Louis kids send Notre Dame to the title game with a 27-24 victory. St. Louis kids all over the place making big plays.
It's nice to see Notre Dame doing well again.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, another round of snow overnight has us in a weather impact alert, and Scott will have the latest when we come back. The Bridgeton Parks and Recreation Department had a little fun in the tundra while dreaming of the tropics. Workers created a snow woman with a Hawaiian luau theme. They named her Lulu Frostine. Now, this is part of a little competition with the Bridgeton Police Department's Officer Olaf Snowman, which we showed you last night. And snow is moving in overnight. Scott has the final check of the weather impact forecast.
That snow we had Sunday was good snowman making snow for sure.
Right.
What comes tomorrow is not. It is dry. It is that slick, fluffy snow. So now through about 6 o'clock tomorrow, we have your weather impact alert. There could be as much as 6 inches over southeast Missouri, far southern Illinois. The metro area, though, you're probably looking more like 2 to 3 inches, but any of it at this point, given how we've been traveling around the last few days, is still beyond an annoyance for a lot of people. Yeah. Temperatures back to 32 tomorrow afternoon. We are above freezing during the afternoon hours on Saturday and Sunday. So there should be some progress here in improvement in some of these roads that still have that thick layer of ice and snow on them.
Let's hope so. There you have it, 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+. Don't forget to start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. Have a great and safe tomorrow.